Greetings, family. Welcome to today's episode of Wednesdays with Pastor K. Thank you for tuning in. I'm so excited to spend the next few moments of my time with you, and I believe we're going to have an awesome time. Happy Wednesday night, and thank you for tuning in. I just want to quickly check who's watching before I do a quick recap of what we discussed about 2 weeks ago. Last week we could not tune in. I had so much to do last week, and I did not even have the time to sit down and stream live. But I'm excited that today we are joined back together. And please do the following for me. Please like the feed, share the feed, comment, interact with me throughout the session, and let's get our world into this room. I believe that it's better when we connect with many for the sake of knowledge and for the sake of knowing what to do next in our lives. And last week we took some time to deliberate on the topic titled The Power of Focus Part 2. So we took 2 weeks discussing this particular topic of the power of focus, and many were impacted by the topic and those 2 sessions of the power of focus. And just want to check who has tuned in here. Welcome, Patricezo. Good to see you. It's only you I can see on my end here. I see there are a number of people that have tuned in, but I can't see where they've tuned in, whether on Facebook or on YouTube. But so far I can see Patricezo here, and then there's another number here of people. I'm not sure where they are watching us from. It can either be on YouTube. But welcome, family. So good to see you. And on the part 2 of the power of focus, we got to discuss, we got to define the word focus. And we said that focus is the ability to concentrate on a single task. It is the ability to concentrate on a single task. Let me know if my stream is fine on your side, and also if you can hear me very well. Patricezo, can you hear me very well? Can you hear me clearly, and can you see me clearly? Are you happy with my video quality there? Let me check on my end as well quickly before I go deeper with this. Then at least I would know that we are on the right track. Awesome stuff. Everything is perfect. Thank you, Patricezo. Oh yeah, I see the stream is also okay. Great stuff. I like that. So yeah, focus is the ability to concentrate on a single task or activity without distraction. It is a skill that improves with practice and offers numerous benefits for productivity, mental health, self-discipline, and also the overall well-being of a person. That's what we discussed. That's what we said that focus is. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask here. And if you can remember, I did say last week that there is no such a thing as multitasking, and here I'm getting the taste of my medicine here. I'm trying to get my other device on, but yeah, apologies, sorry about that. So yes, like I was saying that I was defining focus there, and there are a number of things that I mentioned concerning why we need to focus. And number one, we said without focus, you will procrastinate. If you're not a focused person, you will always procrastinate. If there comes a time where you have to do something, to deal with something, and to get something over and done with, you will procrastinate, meaning that you will postpone. You will always postpone it to the next day, you'll postpone it to the next month, and so forth. And secondly, we said that without focus, you will make poor decisions. And that's what we do most of the time. If we lack focus, we will make poor decisions. And number three, we said that without focus, let me rather put it this way, lack of focus reduces efficiency. If you're not focused, you will never be efficient. And lack of focus reduces efficiency, we said 2 weeks back. And we also said, number 4, it hinders goal attainment and success. If you are not focused, it will be difficult for you to achieve success and to attain goals. Number 5, we said people without focus are not organized. People without focus are not organized. You wake up this morning, you don't know what you're going to do for the day, you don't know what you must attend to, and you want to succeed. But you don't have a plan for the day. You don't have a routine. You don't have goals set for that particular day. By so doing, it means that you are not organized. You are not organized. And number 6, we said that without focus, you will struggle to give each task your best effort. You will struggle to give each task your best effort. Because if you've got things planned, you know that on Mondays, this is what I do. On Tuesdays, this is what I do. Wednesdays, Thursdays, and so forth. You know how you deal with things on a daily basis. And if you lack that, I'm telling you, you will struggle to achieve goals and to fulfill the tasks that you have set. Number 7, you will struggle to make sound decisions. If you lack focus, you will struggle to make sound decisions. Number 8, we said you will entertain distractions. You will entertain distractions. Now, distractions can be even your phone. It can be your device. There are many people where when you have to focus on very important things, and then you allow things like social media to distract you. And then you spend time focusing on social media, and then you let go or you ignore very important things that should have taken you a level higher on that particular day. So if you lack focus, you will entertain distractions like your cell phone. And we spoke about the techniques to improve your focus. I gave you a number of techniques in improving your focus. And I said that, number 1, you must block distractions. You must block distractions if you want to improve your focus. Block distractions. Secondly, if you want to improve your focus, you must get rid of time wasters. What are time wasters in your life? What is it that wastes your time? Get rid of such things. Get rid of time wasters. And number 3, we said if you want to improve your focus, you must set clear goals. Right now, as we are in this session, you and I, you must clearly know what your plan for tomorrow is. If you are a person who sets clear goals, you must already have a plan for tomorrow. You must know that tomorrow from morning, this is what I'm going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. And by lunch, I would have achieved so much. And after lunch, I'm going to conclude with so much. So you must have clear goals on a daily basis if you want to improve your focus. And number 4, you must improve your time management. That's where many of us struggle. Many of us cannot manage time. That's where we struggle. You must manage time. If you can improve in the area of time management, I'm telling you, if you've got particular tasks that you have to focus on a daily basis, put timelines there. Put timelines to say, okay, I'm going to do this. I need an hour to do this. I need 30 minutes to do this. I need 20 minutes to do this. I need 2 hours to do this. But improve your time management. Improve your time management. It won't help that instead of you achieving so much in a day, you slept during the day for 5 hours. I mean, you've wasted time. You're not managing time very wisely. You're not managing time very wisely. And number 5, we said that one of the techniques to improve your focus is to take regular breaks. Take regular breaks, and it helps with your health as well, your body functioning. Take some break, take a 5-minute break, stretch your body, stretch your legs, and go to the gents, go to the ladies, and come back. Take regular breaks, go have some tea, come back, get onto the work, do your work, because obviously sitting in one place for the whole day, for 8 hours or 9 hours without moving, it's also not healthy for you. So you must take those regular breaks, your 5 minutes, your 10 minutes, and that hour, particularly for your lunch and all that. But don't waste time. Take regular breaks. Yeah. So that's it for the recap of what we did 2 weeks ago. And Just want to quickly welcome the people who have tuned in. Let's see, we saw Patricezo, and we have Albino. Welcome, Albino. Good to see you. And we have Tina Mnyepa watching on Facebook. Welcome. Good to see you. And we have Matapelo Mate watching on Facebook. Welcome. We have Noktula Noki watching on Facebook. Welcome. We have Refile Matsibulani watching on Facebook. Welcome. And we have Tumelompo watching on YouTube. Welcome, Tumza. Good to see you guys. And we have Tabsem Machibulan watching on Facebook. Welcome. We have Tabu Maiman watching on Facebook. Welcome. Jabuma Rema watching on Facebook. Welcome. We have Bafana Ngosi watching on Facebook. Welcome. We have Matapelo Mapanga watching on Facebook. And the one and only Patuchezo is still with us. He's watching on Facebook. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm so excited to spend the next few moments of my time with you. And I believe we're going to have a gracious time and a great time together. Connect with me on Facebook if it's the first time you're tuning in. And yeah, so today's topic is quite interesting. I want us to talk about distancing yourselves from relationships that are draining. Distance yourself from relationships that are draining. How many of us can relate with such things? How many of us are experiencing relationships that are draining? There are relationships that are draining both mentally and physically. There can be so much relationships that will drain you both mentally and physically. And today we're going to learn about how to distance ourselves from such relationships, because we will agree that those kinds of relationships are not good for us. They are not good for us. You have to keep your health or to put your health first. Your health and your sanity, they come first. And there are many of us who have been in very abusive relationships. Abuse can come verbally, and some have been in intimate relationships which were physically abusing. And today we are learning on how to distance ourselves from relationships that are draining. It can be from friends. There are relationships that are draining, and it can either be that of an intimate relationship, or a relationship between you and a colleague, a relationship between you and a friend, or a relationship with a complicated family member. Complicated family. And I'm sure we can all relate. Some of us come from complicated families, complicated relatives, and we get all these kinds of people. In our journey of life, we will come across different kinds of people, and there are certain people who've got what we call personality disorders. There are people that you don't need in your life. There are certain people that if you hang around with, you will lose many people in life. You will lose many friendships. You will lose so many people that were close to you simply by hanging around with those people. And there will be those people that cause a drift in families. They cause a drift in a circle of friends. They cause a drift even in our workspaces. There are those people who are toxic. That's the best way of putting them. There are people who are very toxic, and they will give you a headache. And at times, it is always best to distance yourself from those people. It is always best to distance yourself from those people. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. That's what I want to hear. Ntina says, these relationships are toxic. I can relate. Absolutely. I mean, even in the workplace, there are certain people that if you come across this person, there's going to be challenges. There's going to be a problem. There's going to be a lack of peace, simply because this person has walked into the room. There are people like that, and we have to distance ourselves from such people. Relationships where there are many conflicts, lack of authenticity, minimal attention, or little reciprocity can be exhausting. How many of us know of those kinds of relationships? Relationships that can be exhausting. There are certain relationships that will exhaust you. By the time you come out of that room or you come out of that gathering, I'm telling you, you're feeling numb. You're feeling meh, because You are so exhausted. You even ask yourself, why did I have to go there? There are certain meetings and gatherings that you don't even have to go to. There can be even in your workplace, even in your circle of friends, even in your family. There are certain gatherings that you don't even have to go to, because you know that I'm telling you, it's going to be the worst day of your life if you go there, because there will always be that group that is very toxic, and they are always intentional about offending people and giving people and exhausting other people. Exhausting relationships often do not serve the purpose of meaningful connection. They do not serve the purpose of meaningful connections. You don't want to be abused by someone with a personality disorder. There are people who just have a personality disorder. You know that this person is so problematic. Nothing positive comes out of this person's mouth. That person is problematic. That person is has a personality disorder. Best if you move away from that person, because you know if you're going to spend hours with that person, you're going to lose your mind. If you spend some time with that person, you're going to lose your sanity. Best you don't even hook up with that person, and you move away from them. Many of us have relationships like that, and many of us have such relationships with people that are very close to us. And at times, you just have to call it quits. You just have to call it quits and move on. You must move on, because I'm telling you, you will never have peace if you're going to hang around with people that are very toxic. Signs that you are in an emotionally draining relationship. Yeah. Bless you, Matapelo. Matapelo says, Dad, I can relate. Thank you so much for this topic. Signs that you are in an emotionally draining relationship. For those of you who just need a little bit of reminder to quickly remember those people that I'm talking about. Signs that you are in an emotionally draining relationship. Number one, you can't be yourself around them. Every time you become yourself, then there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a problem. So you can't be yourself around them. You don't know how to behave when you're with them, because everything you do is wrong. Everything you say, it offends them. You don't even know how to address them. You can't be yourself around them. You must know you are in an emotionally draining relationship. It's time to distance yourself. It's time to distance yourself. If you're in a right relationship, you can be authentic and everything will be fine. And you can be yourself and everything will be fine. But if you are in an emotionally draining relationship, it's difficult to be yourself. The moment you become yourself, there's a problem there. There's a problem that there's going to be friction. There's going to be a conflict. Secondly, your connection with them interferes with other areas of your life. Your connection with them interferes with other areas of your life. Most of you that have been in a relationship, there must be those kinds of friends that friend, it's like somehow they did not gel well with your partner, or your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife. There is that friend that every time your spouse or your partner sees this person, they just get mad and they don't like that person. That person is not good for your lifetime relationship. That is why. And we've all had those kinds of friends. For those of us who are especially grown up now, we've all had those kinds of friends. I remember I used to have friends like that, and my wife did not approve of those friends and did not really like them. For some, she did not even tell me, but she only told me when me and those friends broken up, and she would tell me that I didn't really like that guy because this guy would cause you to do things, and we cause you to act out of character and all those things. So there are relationships that are emotionally draining, and they interfere with certain areas of your life. These connections interfere with relationships you hold dear. At times, you've got to choose people that you love, because there are certain people that for as long as you're connected to them, you will lose people that you hold dear in your life. And that is why we've got to be very careful when it comes to the area of relationships, because there are certain areas that will suffer in our lives if we are friends with those people. There are relationships that might interfere with your job. There are friends that if you become friends with them and you become very close with them, then you will never go to work every Monday. You will never go to work every Monday because on your Sundays are spent drinking and you're socializing and you're getting up to no good. And Monday, you've got a hangover, you are hungover, and you don't even wake up to make it to work. It's because of those kinds of friends. Those relationships are interfering with your job. And signs that you are in an emotionally draining relationships. Number 3, you are constantly criticized. Yeah, you are constantly criticized and unappreciated. You're not in a good relationship. A balanced relationship must be able, even though they might criticize at some point, but they will also appreciate you at some point. But if you are constantly criticized and unappreciated, you are in an emotionally draining relationship. How many of us know of such relationships? We have been in those kinds of relationships where you're constantly criticized, you're unappreciated. There's nothing good they say about you. Every time they criticize you, they don't like what you do when you do this, they don't like it when you do that, they don't like it when you there's never a time where they appreciate you. They always criticize and they are unappreciative. At times you must surround yourself with supportive spaces. We need to hang around in supportive spaces where we feel welcome and appreciated. You've got to be where you feel welcome and appreciated. And at times we expose ourselves in spaces where we are not appreciated and spaces that are not supportive. And as a result, that can be exhausting and can be emotionally draining. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, Ntina Mnyepao says, yo, Dad, you are so spot on. They even contaminate the environment. Absolutely. They even contaminate your environment. And you've got to surround yourself or actually expose yourself to spaces that are supportive, spaces that will give you energy, spaces that will boost your energy and boost your esteem as well. Sometimes the best thing to do for us will be detaching from such relationships. We've got to detach from certain relationships because certain relationships are not good for us. They are not good for us. Welcome, Refule Cladi. Refule Cladi is watching on YouTube, and we have also Dineo Khwadi watching on YouTube. Welcome, guys. Good to see you. Patucheza says on Facebook, he says, sad reality is there are parents like that to their children. It's unfair to the children to go home to that environment every day. Certain people are very toxic. They are very toxic, and we have to sometimes, respect our peace. We must respect our peace and respect our sanity as well. Sometimes, like I said, detaching from these kinds of relationships is the best way to take care of your mental health and your well-being. There are certain people, it does not matter. Even if you want them to remain with you or to remain in your environment or to remain around you, them being around you is toxic. It's toxic. So the best thing is to detach from those people for the sake of your mental health and for your mental well-being. It's very important. Detaching from a relationship does not necessarily mean you are abandoning that person. No, you're not abandoning that person. Or it does not mean that you have stopped caring about them, but you are trying to protect your health and your sanity. There's no love lost, but your sanity comes first. Your health comes first. There are people, even if you want them to be with you, their energy is toxic. They carry strange fire. Yes, the Bible speaks about strange fire. They carry strange fire. They've got this toxic energy, and every time they are around you, I'm telling you, it's not going to be a nice day. It's not going to be a nice meeting. It's not going to be a nice environment. The best thing is to detach from those people if you want to retain your sanity. You want to maintain your sanity. Yes, yeah. Noktula says, thank you, Dad, for this session. I needed to hear this. Yo. And Tina Nyepao says, I'm so unappreciated at work, though I invest everything I have. I've decided to cut ties. My mental health is important. I need to protect my heart. Absolutely. You must evaluate relationships, evaluate those kinds of friendships, and know what is good and what is not good for you. Anything that is not authentic, get away from it. Get away from it. It's best you detach for the sake of your sanity and for the sake of your health. Taking responsibility for another person's actions and behaviors can be tiring. It can be very tiring, I'm telling you. There are certain people that all the time you must think for them, you must think for them, you must try and probably, even though they spoke to you in a very bitter manner, you have to try and think for them and to say, no, maybe they did not mean that, but they always do it. And you must always try and put yourself into their shoes in order to understand them. But the fact remains is that they are toxic. And being in a relationship with those people can be draining. It can be draining in your life. And at times you have to detach from such people. You must detach from those people. Yeah. Absolutely. Albino says, thank you, Dad, for this topic. I surrender myself that I'm growing without a friend. Awesome, awesome. I mean, at times we try to hold on to toxic atmospheres and it's not good. It's not good. Yes, I like that, Patricia. Patricia says, go for peace at all cost. Go for peace at all cost. There was this particular toxic relationship that I got involved in. Sure, I feel that was the worst relationship. It was the worst kind of relationship. It was back in college, and about 2-3 years ago. Let me rather say it started when I started at Bible college, and there was this old lady. And it's somebody you would not expect this from. You'll expect maturity from such an elderly person. That at that age there would be no such gimmicks like that. And I was very fond of this elderly person, and we're in the same class. She was quite old. She was quite old, and we're in a very same class. But she will always find something wrong with one. And she was that kind of a person that even when you try and speak to her, she would start putting words in your mouth to say, is this what you're trying to say to me? She was highly, highly toxic. And many occasions she has accused me of things I never even thought. She would accuse me of undermining her, and I had great respect for this woman. And she used to undermine people because at times you will see in other people what you see. Actually, you would think that people see in you what you see in them. And she would undermine people, and she's that kind of a woman who wanted to always display that she was very rich and all that. And for me, it was all about school and all that, and discussing the Word of God and some of our modules and all that. But she will always find a way to exhaust and to take away the peace everywhere. And there are many people she offended in that Bible college. There are many people she offended. And it took me time. It took me time to get to a place where I felt that, you know what, the only peace that I can get out of this relationship is to block this person. That was the best thing I've ever done. That was the best thing I've ever done. At one time, she was talking about this cousin of mine who runs a reputable tombstone company. And she was talking about this company. and saying she wants to connect with this company. Fortunately, I said to her, you know what? My sister runs that company. Actually, her husband is the owner of this company, and my sister is married to this guy. And she was like, wow, oh, okay, that's easy then. And then I remember one time she called me and to say, can you give me the number of your sister's number? Because I want to connect with them. And politely, I said to her, yo, no, that's nice. Let me speak to her first and ask her for permission to give you her number. Oh my God. Oh my God. I triggered something in that woman and she began going on and on. And she said to me, who does she think she is? Who do you think your sister is? That you must get a permission. You know what? Do you know who I am? And all those kinds of things. I started coming down to say, I was only trying to get you the number, but I just can't give you somebody's number without getting a permission from them. Yeah, you know what? Just keep that number. Just keep that number. Do you think your sister is all that? And she went on and went on. That was her character. That was a character in a nutshell. And all the circle of the people that we hung around with at Bible college, we all had our experiences with her. And if I were to describe her in one word, I would say drama. She was the definition of drama. If you want to know drama, that lady was a definition of drama. There was never a dull moment. There was never a dull moment. And yeah, I like what Tuntina is saying here. Those people, safe, manipulative. Listen, she would be very manipulative. I remember at one time she said to the lecturer, in front of everyone in class, she started crying, crying, putting that act together and saying, yeah, even young people here, people who are way younger than her, they're disrespecting her. And I know I was counted in that list, but I told myself that, you know what, I'm writing this person off because there's nothing I could ever do to make this elderly person happy. She would always find something wrong with me every time we met. And I told myself, you know what, the best thing, and I sent her a VN, the voice note, and I said to her, listen, Mama, I've tried for so many years to tolerate you, and I've tried to have that patience, the fruit of the Spirit, but I've gotten to a point that where I've decided that the best way to deal with you is to lose contact with you. I am blocking you as of today. After sending that VN, I just blocked her. Never ever again have I spoken to that lady. She was very toxic. Yeah. She's a definition of drama. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Tabo says she was old in age, but young in mindset. Absolutely. Very young. Very young. Actually, not young, Tabo, immature in mindset. I don't understand. I don't know how to describe that character. I don't really understand how to describe that character. It was a very toxic character. And Ntina says sometimes you do not choose to let them into our lives. They force themselves because they have their hidden devilish agenda. Absolutely. I feel that lady needed deliverance, but who would tell her that? Who would tell her that? I so wish I could have delivered that lady, set her free from that demonic spirit because that spirit was ruining so many relationships in her life. And in the process, I believe she lost so many relationships. Yeah. And how many of us can relate? How many of us can probably maybe share in the comments one of the toxic relationships you've had, and you did everything in your power to try and retain that relationship, but in the end you had to let it go. I mean, that's what this topic is all about. That's why I'm saying you've got to distance yourself from relationships that drain you, that are draining and negative. You must. Some people are a definition of drama. They will suck the energy out of you. There are those kinds of people who will suck out the energy out of you and leave you feeling emotionally drained, Anytime you spend time with them, they will leave you emotionally drained anytime you spend time with them. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Patuchezo, for interacting, and Tabo for interacting. Dina Mnyepao, thank you for interacting as well. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Kalipile Kumalo says narcissistic. Yeah, actually, it's narcissistic. Yeah, behavior. I attribute it to a toxic spirit. They usually attack relationships with gifted and blessed people. Absolutely, and it's very sad. It's very sad. Detaching from toxic relationships can give you the emotional space you need to take care of yourself. Yeah, they can give you the emotional space you need to take care of yourself. And that will happen when you detach yourself from such relationships. Welcome to my beautiful wife. She just tuned in now. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. So, holding on to toxic relationships can have the following side effects on you. It can have the following side effects on you. You may start to have headaches. That's what stress will do to you. There are certain people that they will just give you a headache. You know, at times, I'm reminded because my wife has just tuned in. At times, because she does her work as well, sometimes she works here from home. And at times, she will come out of the office and come out storming out of the office. I could see that she's up here. You know, she starts going on and on and on about this particular person who just gave her a headache, and she feels exhausted because there are people like that. There are people like that that every time they are involved, I'm telling you, that day is not going to end well. It's going to end with your emotions up there, because those people know how to press the wrong buttons in our lives. And being in a relationship with them can be so draining. And I'm sure my wife can relate on those, because I know many a times she would come out of, and she would be irritated. You know, I'm so up to here with so and so. I'm so up to here with so and so. And it's because there are certain people who carry that atmosphere of toxicity. There are those people whom will drain you. They will drain you. You will come, feel you are excited, you are in a good mood. Once that person walks into the room or walks into a meeting, walks into that session, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a bad session. You're gonna regret going there, because this person will mess up your entire day. And holding on to toxic relationships like these can have such effects on you. You will lose sleep because you will be worried all night. What did I ever do to this person? What must I actually do to actually get this person to understand that I'm not against them? I mean well. We need moments like that, where we just need an angel to speak on our behalf, to say, no, man, I'm not there. I'm not there. I'm not against you. And unfortunately, we'll always have those kinds of people who are toxic. But Jesus says, this other client. There is this other client of mine. I think he meant. She made me lose my cool to the point I ended up saying to her, I am sure even Satan is tired of you. I love reading Patucheso's comments. I said to her, best thing for you and me is to cut ties. She began to cry and begin to say, you are the only agent who understands me. The following week, she will be back to her toxic attitude. Yeah, you know what? There's those kinds of people everywhere. They are everywhere we go. We get them in our workspaces. We get them in our families. We get them in our circle of friends. They are everywhere. They are everywhere. There'll always be those people that are very toxic. Yeah, Tabo says, don't be so desperate for relationships that you tolerate toxicity. Absolutely. And you will lose sleep and you will become more irritable. There are those people that they just suck out the energy out of you. They suck out that peace out of you. And by the time you part your ways, you are already exhausted and you don't want anything to do with them. One of the side effects this will have on you is excessive worry, and it will lead to anxiety, it will lead to fear, it will lead to panic. There are those people that even when you come around them, there will be that fear that comes into your heart, and there will be that also panic. Yeah, absolutely. There my wife goes. She says, toxic people will drain you. It is worse when you are stuck with them. Absolutely. Imagine if you're stuck with such people. And today we are discussing something very important. We say at times we have to distance ourselves. We have to distance ourselves from such people. The following signs are signs that you have to detach from that particular relationships. Number one, if there is physical or verbal abuse. If there is physical or verbal abuse, they are very reckless with their words when they speak to you. They will tell you to get off in a very mean way, and you can feel that they are reckless with their words, and they are belittling you with the words that they release every time they are with you. They get to a point or to an extent where they tell you that you are a nothing. You must know those people are abusive. They are abusing you verbally, and you must get out for as quick as you can. So there will be that kind of a physical or verbal abuse, and especially those in an intimate relationship, you will experience that physical abuse as well. You must get out of such. You must distance yourself. You must distance yourself from such. Yeah. And Tina Mnyepao says this lady let's see the comment from Tina here. This lady at work is moving from one office to another and gossip and ruin relationships. She has a desk in my office but does not sit there. Once one occupied that space, she would cause chaos. Hey, my God. Yeah, we got these people everywhere. We've got them everywhere we go. I'm telling you, these people are just everywhere. Yeah. Just gonna read Matapelo Mate's comment, and then we'll go to Bafana Nkosi's comment there. And Matapelo Mate says, my ex-husband was toxic. I did everything in my power to make him happy. The more I tried hard to make him happy, the more he criticized me. Yeah, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do to help these kinds of people. They are just toxic. And I lost myself in the process. Yeah, that's what will happen. I slept in mental institute hospitals. Look, you see, who they are is now projected in your life. That's what happens when you entertain toxic people. They will end up projecting their weakness in your life. And I'm telling you, at times you just have to distance yourself to maintain your sanity. Otherwise, you're going to lose yourself in the process. And Matapelo Mate goes further to say, I lost weight and color. I turned pitch black. Sure. I was in and out of hospitals and continually absent from work. Oh, he told me I was unable to cook. I lost myself. Sure. That's demeaning. You see, that's what I'm talking about. That's verbal abuse. He told her that she can't even cook, and I lost confidence. I can go on, and he was such toxic. I almost lost my life. I worked around the clock. I didn't sleep at night. Until one day when I decided to put myself first, I was out of that toxic relationship. I know what you are talking about. Hey, yeah. We get these kinds of people everywhere, guys. They are everywhere, and our lives and our peace and sanity must come first. Yeah, Bafana Nkosi says, I can relate. One of my colleagues who is senior carries a similar spirit and frustrates many, even her seniors. I exercise the fruit of the Spirit, showing her love and support, but minimal improvement. A number of times I wanted to give up and change departments, and prayer always pushes me back. It's really tiring. I'm telling you, these people can be very, very, very toxic. I'm telling you, they can be very toxic. Wezi says, my mom, I recently had a conversation with a friend who introduced me to you. Right. And Refile Matsibulani says, toxic relationships make it difficult to trust or build new relationships. Absolutely. There are people who would make you shut doors on relationships because of your experience with these kinds of people. And Dina says there is this feeling that you experience when you come close to them or think of them. This bad aura, absolutely. I fully agree with you. It brings fear and unleashes and uneasiness. Apologies. And uneasiness. Yeah. Tabo says keeping a toxic person from your life is like trying to stop a gossiper from gossiping. It is a futile exercise. A gossip will even gossip about you for trying to make them stop gossiping. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Check my profile on a clip. I spoke about resisting gossip, and that's unfortunately, people. These are the things we have to deal with on a daily basis, and certain people can be just toxic, and at times we don't even know what to do. We don't even know how to please these people because there's nothing you can ever do. There's nothing you can ever do to get it right. And secondly, for signs that you have to, for signs to look for, if you have to detach from that particular relationship. Secondly, is if the relationship is causing you stress and anxiety, don't compromise. If it causes you stress and anxiety, that's the nature of that relationship. Distance yourself. Distance yourself from that relationship because there is no good coming out of it. It only causes you stress and it exhausts you all the time. Number three, your mental health. If your mental health is affected, if every time you're around this person, even your mental health is affected, balega, get away from those people. Get away from those people. Run. Run. Anoint your feet and run. Yeah. Bafana Nkosi says, I learned that such people are somehow hurting inside, and that's how they approach life, giving what they carry in them. Yeah. I almost said that before I saw what you wrote there. Hurt people. That's it. That's the best way of putting it. They are hurt and they are hurting other people. That's what I think I experienced with that elderly person I spoke about that I used to be in class with. That person was just hurting anything that comes her way. Anything. Everyone who meant well, she will just hurt them. She will push them away. Yeah. Patricheza says, the Spirit of God helps us not to be toxic, a toxic person. There is few people I have seen how toxic they were when they were coming to the House of Prayer Ministries today. You can sit down with them because of God's Spirit. Absolutely, that's it. Takes us back to the sermon that I delivered this past Sunday. That we need to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. That thing, we can let go of such habits. We can let go of bitterness and all those things. If we allow God's word to transform us, we allow God's word to remove that virus in our system. It's very important. It is very important. Yeah. My father says, I need this anointed feet. Awesome. So, and yes. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree with you, Dina. I agree with you. How do you distance yourself from such relationships? For those of you who are saying, I'm stuck in this relationship, and even though I want to distance myself, but I don't know how to go about distancing myself. I'm going to give you 3 keys, and then we're going to close on how to distance yourself from such, because you have to rid yourself from such people. There are certain people that will exhaust you. They will exhaust your energy. They will drain you. They will drain you, and until you get to a point where you feel worthless. Matapelo Mate says, my piece of advice: if you are in a toxic relationship, it can be from a family member, wife, husband, or own child or friend, just run away. Just run away. Finish and clear. Just run away. Finish and clear. Yeah. At times you must just run away. Distance yourself from these people, because there's nothing you can do to change them. So how do you distance yourself from such relationships? Number one, the first step is having the courage to walk away. You must have the courage to walk away from what is not good for you. Have the courage. If you know that this relationship is not good for you, this family member is not good for you, this friend is not good for you, this colleague is not good for you, whoever it is, can be even your brother, even in church. If this person is not good for you, walk away from them. Walk away. Walk away from that relationship if it's not good for you. Number two, build and maintain healthy boundaries. Build and maintain healthy boundaries. You must have boundaries. Set boundaries for yourself. If this person is going to abuse you verbally, there are certain things, even if this person has got what we call a personality disorder, but if they've got a tendency of being reckless with their words, you must set boundaries. You must tell them, I will not tolerate what you're saying. You must bring them closer and say, listen here, I will not tolerate this, what you're saying. And never, ever again will you say this to me. You must set boundaries and maintain them if you want to be healthy. Otherwise, I'm telling you, people will just, they will be ascending, descending on, in your life. And you don't need that. Only angels are allowed to do that. But you don't need people who are toxic to just paint you up and down and be reckless and abuse you with their words. You must not allow that. By so doing, if you build and maintain healthy boundaries, by so doing, you will avoid feelings of stress, you will avoid feelings of anger, and you will avoid feelings of resentment and disappointment. Because if you entertain them, I'm telling you, in the end, you will be disappointed and you will be stressed and you will feel that anger. So by so doing, avoid them. Avoid these people. Build and maintain those boundaries. And also, number three, prioritize what we call self-love. Prioritize self-love. Love yourself enough that you're not going to allow any other person to demean you, to undermine you, and to belittle you. No, don't. Stand your ground and prioritize self-love. When you make this a priority, you're going to be able to be more easily make choices that are best for you. Yeah. And lastly, refuse to waste time on anything or person that brings you down. Refuse anything or person that brings you down. Refuse to spend time with them. Refuse to waste time. If you are not worth their time, just walk away. You don't want to surround yourself with people that will constantly bringing you down. They never say anything good about you. They constantly bring you down. Just walk away. Refuse to waste time on such people. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to read the last few comments and then I close. Tabo says, understanding your value as a person determines what you tolerate. Value yourself enough not to stay in such relationships. I fully agree with you, Tabo. I fully agree with you. And Jabu Marema says, I have a colleague who makes me feel like not waking up in the morning because of the attitude the person is giving me. And unfortunately, in this situation, I'm stuck with them and I have learned how to deal with this person. Yeah. Just pray them out of your system. Pray them out of your system and pray them out of your office. They will eventually come out of your office, or they will have to shape up. And I agree with you, Patucheso. And Tina says, I pray for that courage. These people are masters of manipulation, very manipulative. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Yeah, last question. There's a question there, and then I close. And Tina says, but what if the person is your child? What if the person is, that's a difficult one. That's a difficult one. Just keep praying for them. Just keep praying for them. And the less you speak with them, the better. The less you entertain them, the better. Just keep praying for them. Pray for them in private, but don't entertain them. Don't entertain them because you will lose your peace. Unfortunately, these are the kinds of relationships that you're stuck with for the rest of your life. You cannot divorce your child. You cannot. You can divorce your husband, but you can't divorce your child. You can divorce any friend, but you can't divorce your child. You can't. They are your blood, and you're stuck with them for life. It's just the issue of management. You must learn to manage them. You must learn to manage them. The less you speak, the better. And keep on praying for them in the spirit. Pray for them also in private. And sooner or later, God will deal with their attitude, and they will come around. They will come around. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. I really enjoyed your interaction. Thank you so much for interacting. I really appreciate this. For the rest of you, Jabu Marema, Bafana Nkosi, thank you guys for interacting. And also, Osmatapelo Mate, thank you for interacting as well. Tabo, all of you guys, I've mentioned your names already. Thank you for being interactive. I really enjoyed this session with you guys. And we'll see you again once more next week. Same place, same time. And before I let you go, I want to ask you to please invest in my book if you haven't yet. Invest in my book, The Call of God. It's only 200 Rand. This resource will bless you. It will open up your mind concerning the call of God, and you'll get to understand what it means to be called. And you'll get to also understand that not only pastors are called, but each and every person, every human being is called here on earth. And this book only goes for 200 Rand. It will bless you. Get it. You can inbox me. And I'm telling you, this resource will bless you. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. So, family, thank you so much. Remember to share the feed. If you have not yet shared it, share the feed. And also share the link with people that you feel that they need to hear this message. It will bless them as well. And thank you so much. Next week, guys, we are not connecting next week. Next week, I'm away on prayer. I'm preparing for the Night of Deliverance 2024. So there will be no Wednesdays with Pastor K next week. So don't be waiting for me. I will see you the other week. It's the second week of October. And we are looking forward to spending time with you. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.